The two words we've been longing to hear, Heat Nation, for a long time, or at least I have. Jović, dude. Man, I went to a Toronto Raptors game tonight, and I didn't know that I was going to a Serbian Terminator party, dude. Miami Heat beat the Toronto Raptors 114-104, all catapulted by one Nikola Jović himself. What a performance it was from him today in a game. Man, I got to tell you, listen, this is dramatic times around these parts. In old Heatville. It's we got trade rumors coming up the wazoo. We got a record we're trying to keep pretty. We're trying to figure out where this team is at. They're winners of 3 in a row. They've had a long time layoff. And you're taking on a Toronto Raptors team that's coming off a win against you. They're quite annoying. Though they did not have Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett's been a bit of a heat killer. Jakob Poeltl remains a just thorn in the side of Bam Adebayo in this club. And you got down 16 to this team. 16 points. You got into this down to the Toronto Raptors, and Spo finally lets number 5 get in the game, and wouldn't you know it, this mother bleeper gets it going. Nico was the spark the team needed. We can, you can debate it with the wall, dude. I don't want to hear it, because he gets in there and all of a sudden things just take off for the Miami Heat. Couldn't be happier for him. It's been a long time going. He hasn't gotten significant minutes in nearly a month, dude. The last time Nikola Jović played more than 20 minutes was against the Pacers on November 17th. That's a long-ass time, dude. A long-ass time. And mind you, that was a road trip where he had just won a game and, just fell out of favor. And I read it, I think you guys who have watched me, have been disappointed about it. I think that, this guy, I think the kid has talent, man. I think the kid has talent. I stand with Jimmy Butler, who today after the game was like, I'm a Nikola Jović fan. And I was like, who couldn't be a Nikola Jović fan? They did their media together, and how could you not be just delighted by what the joy this kid plays with, the spunk, the moxie? Yeah. Does he get a little lost and make goofy mistakes every now and then? Sure. He's 21.
Yeah, man, my man playing like a starting 4 out there. That's what I like to see. I'm a huge fan of Nico. I think everybody in the world knows it. Everybody in Serbia knows it. And I'm just happy for him. I want him to continue to play confidently. He does everything well out there on the floor when he is locked in, and I think he's back to being that. So I want my boy to keep shining and keep doing what he's doing.
But I'm not going to sit here and just be rats off a ship on the kid. I think that he's got the goods, man. I really do. So Nico, he was found by Terry Rozier, goes to the free throw line, right? And, you're like, all right, initial spark. We got it going. Then he's fouled hard on a drive. The Heat were in the bonus. He gets going, gets a couple buckets. Then Jim VP gets in with him. Jimmy Butler finds him between 2 Raptors. He scores in the paint. All right. Starting to feel it a little bit. Bam Adebayo then comes in. Drew Smith is, by the way, another great performance by Drew. And all love to Drew Smith. Beautiful alley-oop. He's a menace. He continues to do a great work. Can't speak highly enough about what Drew Smith is doing. But respectfully, everybody, this is a Jović video today, okay? Because I missed him so much. But Nico, he tied up the game. Miami Heat were down 3. Nico gets the 3 ball. He's feeling it. He is peacocking. And then Bam gets the pass down to Jović. He finds Drew Smith in there in the corner for the 3, gives the Miami Heat the lead, and they are celebrating. They're like doing the 3 arms. They're like putting the tongue out. It was a delight, dude. It was starting to get a party in that building. It was a little lifeless, and then all of a sudden the 3 started going. Tyler Herro hit a 3, and then Jović basically closed the half with another three. He's peacocking. He's doing 3-point celebrations. He's feeling it, dude. Nico Threeko. It's all happening for him, and it really just sparked the Miami Heat in a big-time way. The mask was gone, and so were the restrictions, dude. The shackles were off. The young Serbian Terminator cut loose, and it was a beautiful thing. Miami went into the half up 7 and really just started, took the game back into control. Third quarter, got to be honest with you, started a little bit wonky. The Heat were kind of kicking the ball all over the place. You had this big slam from Bagbaji, who gets a huge slam, and he posterized Poeltl because Bam shoved him, because Bam hates Jakob Poeltl. And we'll get to that. I mean, Bam really, really hates Jakob Poeltl. I mean, I could just, and they were, Radakovic, he knows that because they were matching minutes today. He's like, I know this, I don't know many things, but I know this Jakob Poeltl's a pain in Bam's ass. And, so he shoves him, and so Poeltl gets an and one. But then Haywood hits a three, and then boy wonder, just when you need to be like, all right, let's put the lockbox on this game. Here's a big time play from Boy Wonder. 3-ball, 4-point play. The All-Star campaign continues for Tyler Herro. He just continues to shine in a big-time way. You get a follow-up 3 from Haywood Highsmith, so he'd start contributing after a slow start by him. Tyler Herro then really starts to get into his bag. He's dancing with it. He's putting Kelly Olynyk on skates and going to the rim. There was at one point where you were really concerned for them because Kelly Olynyk and Kevin Love collided. And, the old aren't very good at taking collisions. And so, I was a little bit worried there for a little bit. But thankfully, Kevin Love, it almost seemed like it knocked a shot into him because then he hit a 3-ball. Threes were starting to drop for Miami in the third quarter. And, they outscored the Raptors 31-25. Tyler Herro had 9 points in the quarter. He was up to 21 for the game. Definitely better minutes for Kevin Love. Nico was one of the first subs in there along with Drew Smith. Jaime Jaquez was a pretty late replacement, and I would say he's probably like the biggest concern out of all this. He just looks, I don't know, man. I watched Jaime this year, and I just don't see a player playing with a lot of confidence. I see a guy who looks a little lost, doesn't seem to know his role. I think just because there's not really an on-ball role for him on this team. He's not a very good distance shooter. He's getting scattered all over defense. Last year, this is a kid they'd throw against LeBron. They throw him against KD just to test him out. And, they feed him buckets from time, but he held his own. And I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like the wiring's a little bit scrambled for Jaime this year. And they got to figure that out. They got to figure that out. And to be honest with you, if Spo is gonna continue to give Kevin Love minutes, and I imagine that he will, and Drew Smith stepping up. I don't know what that means for Pella when he comes back, but I'd imagine, Drew Smith can't be taken out of the rotation the way that he's playing, even with Pella back. So I can't imagine that's great for Nico's minutes. I don't know how bad Pella's ankle injury is. You never really do with the Heat. And then, there's just something about Nico, man. There is an energy. There's a size to him. The guys really just seem to dig playing off. And I don't know. I just feel like with Jaime, it almost feels like it's either he's connected with Kevin Love or nobody else on the court just right now. And I don't know. That may not be just a him thing. He just may be a little bit of a fish out of water right now. But it's been noticeable. It's been noticeable for sure. And I thought Nico did some nice things defensively, particularly, being a deterrent at the rim with RJ Barrett there. He ended the quarter. He had a block on Battle and then forced another Olynyk miss. That was really encouraging stuff from him, man. He really just did fun stuff. Fourth quarter starts. The Heat were up about, what was it? The score was it 90? I got it 91-76. No, it was 89-76 at the end of 3. And then Bam basically spent the first 6 minutes of this game, because the game really felt like it was out of hand for the Heat. They kind of just played with the lead the rest of the time. And it basically felt like Bam Adebayo used the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter to get revenge on Jakob Poeltl. I'm being dead ass serious. Like, I'm watching this, I'm like, he seems like he is just trying to toy with Jakob Poeltl. He was hitting threes. He sent Jakob Poeltl to the ground with a big move, and started nailing some buckets. He he just seemed like he was trying to send him sad. He's like clearing out Drew Smith. He's like, come on, get out of the way. Let me try and hit jumpers on him. And then probably the play that put the dagger in the game. He has this beautiful outlet pass to Drew Smith, who finds Nico for the and one. Heat went up 182 at the time, and they were just in a really, really comfortable place from then on. And Bam seemed to really, take that matchup personally. I think he was very, very annoyed by Jakob Poeltl. That was my read on it. So, that they would just basically, they never had to put Jimmy back in the fourth quarter, so that was an encouraging thing. Tyler went back in there just to make sure they could navigate it all the way. And Miami was able to get this one. They finished the game 114-104 with the victory. They improved to 13-10. Your final numbers on the game: Tyler Herro was your leading scorer. He was another just a nice efficient game for him. 23 points in 32 minutes. 9-13, 4-7 from downtown. Not even a game where he got up a ton of threes. But he was marvelous. Plus 30 for the game. Bam, as we said, most of that scoring surge came early in the fourth, but big time board game from him. 21 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists and a block. And then Nico and Drew Smith were the big studs off the bench. Nico finished 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, plus 25 for the game. It felt every bit of that. And then Drew Smith with his 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4-6 from the free throw line, dude. Drew Smith was doing it. The only things that were interesting from today, because Jimmy Butler had a pretty quiet night, man. For the loudness that was the day, I was kind of expecting a more burstful Jimmy Butler today, and he really got to the free throw line still a good amount, but he missed a bunch of free throws, and he never really had to turn it on. Like I said, he didn't play in the fourth quarter, so it was only 29 minutes that he played. So then, you think about it, for the Heat, for his age, this has been probably a good week for him, where he's gotten days off, then he played under 30 minutes, and he's going to get some more days off, then the Detroit thing, and with all the stuff swirling around. And I'm going to get to some of that, because there was obviously some news after the game. He did address the Shams versus his agent beef, and the orange hair was obviously a big storyline. I kind of just wanted to do a game recap, because I did enjoy this game, and I did enjoy Nico's performance, and I want to, give that some shine here. But I will do Jimmy Butler coverage in another video. I'll put up the videos simultaneously, so you guys can kind of hit them and go with that, and go in that direction if you guys want to. But I really, really enjoyed this game today, man, and especially just because Nico had the great performance here with Spo on his forward getting off today.
He gave us a really important spark. And look, it's not easy necessarily being, a young guy, and you're in the rotation, then you're out of the rotation, and it's a lesson you don't necessarily understand or want to hear at this point. You have to win each day, and if you're not playing, how do you win the day? Like, at least you have a staff that's looking and valuing pre-practice, film sessions, practice, shoot-arounds, walkthroughs, and that's how you can earn, trust. But then you also stay ready, so that when you get your opportunity, that you can make the most of it, and then you can impact winning. Our depth is important. Different guys have been able to step in and impact basically the entire roster, and that's important. If you can get a team that's connected, that's bought into just contributing, to helping a team win, and then you have something. That's still early in the season, but we've seen indications that guys that our depth can contribute, and he stayed with it. I was happy to see that.
And the captain, Bam Adebayo, impressed with the young fella.
I think he handled it professional. He does the little things behind the scene. He's always in pre-practice. He's always trying to get better. And tonight he probably didn't think he was getting in the game, and then both threw him out there. So, like I said, we always got that saying, stay ready so you don't got to get ready, and he was ready tonight.
As well as, I asked Jimmy about Nico celebrating Drew Smith. And Jimmy said an interesting thing, too, because he was like, he kind of went off to give a little bit of shine to Drew Smith.
Jimmy, what did you think of the Nico celebrations, especially after he found Drew?
He actually does live like what Spo always talking about, celebrating everybody else's successes, man. I want him to shine. He actually want everybody out there to shine, and he's always trying to make the right basketball play. And Drew's been hooping lately, too. So anytime Drew is doing something that ain't nobody expecting him to do except for us, I think everybody cheers. He had a dumb turnover tonight, but outside of that, Drew's been doing phenomenal.
Finally, let's give a little bit of the man of the game ball going to Nico. Here's what he had to say on his night.
Nico, how good did it feel today to get the opportunity to make the most of it? And what were the last 3 weeks like for you as you try to work your way back into the rotation?
It was, it was not easy. I kind of fell out of rotation. I don't know what time it is that something like this happened. And it's nothing new for me. Like I said before, I just, keep hooping, keep practicing, and that's what I do, and wait for my opportunity. It looks like it's not the first and for sure not the last time something like this happens. So, yeah.
I love these two as a duo, man. I love the fact that Jimmy was trying to get the entire press conference. He was like trying to get even reporters. He was going to Anthony Chang. He's like, Anthony, tell Nico to answer this question in Serbian.
And everything. So yeah, I'm always aggressive. I'm trying to be aggressive, and that's about it. Nothing special, really.
He just wanted to go up there and have a good time. But it was kind of cool because, in a way, I think it's like, hey, Nico gets his press conference. It's gonna be heavily watched because he's there. Obviously, everybody had a lot of questions for Jimmy Butler that weren't necessarily game related. But he loves that kid. He has a picture of him in his locker. I like their bond. I like their kinship. And I'm happy. You guys, I think, know that I'm a big fan of him. I'm happy Nico had this moment. I hope that Eric Spoelstra takes note, sees what the kid can do. I know it's the Raptors. You guys don't have to be wise asses about it. But I even thought, I never at any point this year thought Nico is killing the Heat. I know the net ratings on his minutes have not been great. I think he had the second worst compared to J-Rich. I'd imagine a game like this changes that. But I feel like he was kind of the first finger point on what to fix. To be fair, the Heat, their offense, been tremendous. They're nestled in there now in the top 10. The starting lineup has, for the most part, been good. Today was a little bit clunky. I don't know if that was the time off. I don't know what it was. But it wasn't as smooth today. A lot of turnovers, a lot of carelessness. Took Haywood a little bit to get going. Kind of a meh performance from Jimmy on the offensive end. But they get it done. That's the important thing. Heat win. 4 in a row. 4 in a row at home. 3 over. Now some days off until they get to return to the scene of the crime, which was Eric Spoelstra's mind melting and forgetting how many timeouts that he had.